The sun was just rising over the city when Ethan first noticed the unusual shadow at the edge of the research facility. At first, he thought it was a drone or one of the routine maintenance bots that occasionally floated around the outer perimeter. But as he rubbed his eyes and looked again, he realized it was something far stranger. A spacecraft, small and sleek, had landed quietly on the grass, leaving no scorch marks or visible footprints. It was unlike anything he had ever seen, its surface glinting with a color that shifted like liquid metal in the morning light. Ethan had spent most of his life studying stars, planets, and distant galaxies. He had always believed in the possibility of life beyond Earth, but the reality of an actual spacecraft landing in front of him was overwhelming. His heart beat faster, and he instinctively reached for the comm device on his wrist, only to find it dead. There were no signals, no interference, just silence. The door of the spacecraft opened with a smooth, almost musical hiss, and out stepped a young woman. She was tall and elegant, with hair that shimmered like silver and eyes that glowed faintly in the soft sunlight. But it wasn't her appearance that stopped Ethan, it was her words. "Human, I am here to wed you," she said, her voice calm, confident, and strangely melodic. "I am the alien girl you rescued 15 years ago." Ethan froze. 15 years ago, he had been part of a small exploratory mission to the outer edges of the solar system. On one icy planet, he had stumbled upon a small, frightened alien child trapped under debris after a violent storm. He remembered the chaos, the freezing temperatures, and the decision he had made in seconds. He had saved her without hesitation. At the time, he had assumed that she would be returned to her people, or that the incident would be forgotten in the larger scope of interstellar politics. He never expected to see her again, let alone in such a dramatic entrance. I don't understand," Ethan stammered, stepping closer but keeping a careful distance. How old are you now?" The alien girl smiled softly, and there was a maturity in her expression that made it clear she had grown far beyond her child form. "Time flows differently on my planet. What was 15 Earth years for you has been enough for me to grow and mature in my own way. I am here now, as I promised, to honor the one who saved my life." Ethan's mind raced. He could feel the weight of what she was saying. This wasn't just a casual visit. It was a deeply significant gesture from a species he barely understood. And yet, there was something in her eyes, something that made him believe she spoke the truth. The alien girl stepped closer, her movements graceful and deliberate. "I know this may be difficult for you to comprehend," she continued, "but on my planet, the life-saver of a child is honored above all else. The bond we share cannot be broken, and my coming here is the fulfillment of that bond." Ethan swallowed hard, trying to calm his rising panic. Earth authorities would never allow an alien to roam freely, let alone declare such an unusual intention. He had to think fast. "We need to explain this to the right people," he said cautiously. "You can't just announce this without proper context." She shook her head gently. "No, human, this is a personal matter between us. I wish to honor you, not to alarm your people, but I am aware that others may become involved. That is why I have come prepared." With a wave of her hand, the alien girl activated a small device from her wrist. A holographic map appeared, showing her homeworld and several points across space where her species had influence. The projections glowed with soft light, and Ethan could see that she was demonstrating not only her knowledge but also her people's technological superiority. Ethan's mind raced. He had faced dangerous situations before, but never one like this. Here was a being who could manipulate energy, travel across galaxies, and had come specifically because of an act of kindness he had performed as a young explorer. The implications were staggering. Yet, despite her power, there was no malice in her actions. She had come to honor him, not to threaten. "I need to understand," Ethan said slowly. "Why now? Why after 15 years?" She looked at him, her glowing eyes steady. "I have waited until I was ready, until I could stand before you as an equal. On my planet, lifesavers are not honored as children grow. They are honored when the child reaches maturity and can fully appreciate the bond. That time has come for me." Ethan nodded, feeling a mix of awe and responsibility. "All right. I want to help you, but we have to be careful. This is Earth, and we have rules and authorities. We can't just ignore them." She smiled faintly. "I understand. That is why I have come to you first. You will guide me through this process. Your people will see your wisdom and compassion, and I will stand beside you." For the next few hours, they talked. Ethan learned about her culture, her people's long lives, and the unique way they measured time and growth. He marveled at their intelligence and sense of honor. The alien girl, in turn, learned about humanity, about its complexities, its strengths, and its potential. She was fascinated by Ethan's ability to reason, to adapt, and to remain calm under pressure. As the day progressed, Ethan realized that this visit was about more than a personal reunion. It was a test, a bridge between two species, and perhaps even a lesson for humanity. Here was a chance to show that humans could be trusted, that their values and courage could inspire respect beyond Earth. Just as Ethan was beginning to relax, a sudden alert flashed on his internal monitors. Earth authorities had detected the spacecraft's arrival. Drones and surveillance ships were approaching rapidly, their sensors scanning for potential threats. Ethan's heart raced. The alien girl's presence, though peaceful, could easily be misinterpreted as a hostile act. "We need to act quickly," Ethan said. "We can't let them think you're a threat," she nodded. "I will not harm anyone. Trust in humanity as I trust in you." Together, they moved toward a secure laboratory, a place where they could communicate without interference. Ethan activated a series of shields and cloaking mechanisms he had developed for sensitive experiments. The alien girl watched in amazement, impressed by human ingenuity and adaptability. As they worked, Ethan asked, "What happens next? After they discover you, what will your people want?" Her expression softened. "They will observe, but they trust my judgment. They know I come in peace, and they have seen your actions. They have always known the one who saved me is worthy of honor." The tension eased slightly, but Ethan could still feel the pressure of the approaching authorities. He knew that he had to demonstrate humanity's strength, intelligence, and integrity in the moments to come. He also realized that the bond he shared with this alien girl was no longer just a memory. It was a living connection that could shape the future. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the alien girl stood beside him, radiant and composed. She looked at Ethan with an expression that combined gratitude, respect, and quiet expectation. "Are you ready, human?" she asked. Ethan took a deep breath. "Yes, we'll do this the right way, together." With that, they stepped toward the edge of the facility, ready to face the authorities, ready to bridge the gap between Earth and a distant world, and ready to honor a bond forged 15 years ago. A bond that proved, above all, that humanity's courage, wisdom, and heart could shine even among the stars. The first patrol drones arrived just as Ethan and the alien girl emerged. Lights blinked and sensors scanned, but instead of aggression, there was curiosity. Ethan quickly communicated through the secure channel, explaining the situation calmly and clearly. The alien girl demonstrated her peaceful intentions, her technology shimmering but harmless. The drones hesitated, their programming confused by the combination of advanced alien tech and human reasoning. Ethan realized in that moment that humanity's greatest strength was not in weapons or machines, but in the ability to think, to adapt, and to act with integrity. The alien girl smiled at him, a small but meaningful gesture. "See, human, your people are capable of greatness. They can understand and they can act wisely." Ethan nodded, feeling a surge of pride and determination. "Then let's make sure they do." Together, they prepared to face the larger challenges ahead. unaware that this meeting was just the beginning of an adventure that would test humanity's courage, intelligence, and honor on a scale far beyond Earth. The galaxy was watching, and for the first time, Ethan truly understood that a simple act of kindness could ripple across time and space, changing destinies in ways he had never imagined. As the shadows of the approaching authority ship stretched across the ground, Ethan felt a strange sense of calm. He had faced danger before, but never like this. And yet, with the alien girl by his side, he knew that humanity could rise to meet whatever came next. In the quiet moments before the first contact, he glanced at her and smiled. 15 years ago, I saved you. Now it seems you've saved me in return. She returned the smile, her eyes glowing softly. No, human, you saved more than me. You showed what humanity can be. And now, together, we will show the galaxy. And with that, the first part of their story came to a close, not an ending, but a promise. A promise that courage, honor, and the simple human heart could bridge worlds, heal wounds, and inspire greatness among the stars. The authority ships hovered above the facility, scanning the area with precise beams of light. Ethan and the alien girl stood side by side, calm but alert, knowing that their next moves could determine how humans and her species would interact in the future. Despite the tension, there was a strange feeling of hope in the air, a sense that this encounter could become a bridge rather than a confrontation. Ethan took a deep breath and activated his communication device. This is Dr. Ethan Cole. I request a temporary pause and permission to explain a situation before any action is taken. His voice was steady, carrying the confidence of someone used to reasoning under pressure. From the hovering ships, a human voice responded, sharp and cautious. Doctor Cole, this is Central Command. Identify the individual with you. Is she armed? Is this a threat? She is not a threat, Ethan replied. She is the alien girl I rescued 15 years ago. This is not an act of aggression. I am responsible for her presence, and I assure you everything is peaceful. The alien girl stepped forward, her silver hair catching the sunlight. I am here voluntarily. I wish only to honor the one who saved my life, she said. Her voice carried the same calm certainty as before, but now the words were directed at everyone watching, including the authorities above. There was a long pause. Ethan could almost feel the collective hesitation as the drones and ships processed the information. Slowly, one of the lead authority officers responded. Very well, Dr. Cole. You have 5 minutes to prove your claim. Do not attempt anything hostile. Our sensors are fully operational. Ethan nodded and turned to the alien girl. We have to show them who we are and why this matters, he said quietly. We need to demonstrate that humanity is capable of wisdom, courage, and understanding. She inclined her head, her glowing eyes filled with trust. Then let us show them together. Inside the laboratory, Ethan guided her to a display table where he could project data, maps, and simulations. Show them your technology and your purpose, he instructed. But remember, only peaceful demonstrations. Let them see the value in humanity, not fear it. The alien girl extended her hands over the table, and a holographic projection of her homeworld appeared, followed by simulations of her species, culture, traditions, and scientific achievements. The images shimmered and moved with a fluid grace, captivating everyone watching. Ethan narrated beside her, explaining the context, the story of her rescue, and the importance of the bond they shared. This girl was rescued by a human 15 years ago, Ethan explained. Her people honor that act of kindness when the child reaches maturity. She has come to recognize the humanity that saved her life. We are not here as enemies, but as representatives of friendship and understanding. The officers and drones scanned the projections, their sensors reading energy signatures, communication patterns, and cultural data. There was still caution in their movements, but curiosity began to replace fear. One of the senior officers finally spoke. Dr. Cole, this is unprecedented. Your claim is extraordinary, but why should we trust that this being comes in peace? The alien girl raised her hands, demonstrating her abilities, but in a controlled and harmless way. Streams of energy formed shapes and patterns in the air, illustrating principles of her people's science and art. I have the power to harm, but I choose not to. My coming here is to honor the one who saved me and to show that peace is possible. Observe, understand, and see that my intent is trust. Ethan nodded. See. This is not just about my actions. It is about what humanity can offer: reason, morality, and the ability to inspire loyalty and respect. We act with compassion and courage, even when the stakes are high. For several long moments, there was silence as the officers studied the display and considered the implications. Slowly, their tone changed from suspicion to cautious respect. "Dr. Cole," one officer said, "we will allow limited interaction, provided no harm is done. Your demonstration must continue under supervision." Ethan exhaled, feeling a surge of relief. The alien girl smiled at him, a soft glow in her eyes, as if acknowledging the shared understanding between them. Over the next several hours, Ethan and the alien girl worked to show the authorities that humanity was capable of trust and intelligence. She demonstrated complex scientific techniques, while he explained human thought processes, ethics, and problem-solving strategies. Together, they showed that collaboration between species was possible, that kindness and courage could extend beyond a single act, and that human ingenuity was worth respecting. As the day progressed, Ethan realized that this encounter was shaping into something larger. The alien girl's culture, with its long lifespan and unique understanding of time, provided a perspective that humans rarely experienced. Her presence offered not just a lesson in diplomacy, but also in patience, honor, and integrity, values that humanity had often overlooked in the rush of daily life. By evening, the authority ships began to withdraw slightly, giving Ethan more freedom to interact with her. "You've impressed them," he said quietly. "They see what we can offer, what humans can become." The alien girl's eyes shone brighter. "It is not just about impressing them. It is about showing that humans and my people can work together, that kindness can ripple across time and space, and that even small acts of bravery can create lasting bonds." Ethan felt a deep sense of pride. 15 years ago, he had saved her without knowing what the future would bring. Now, together, they were creating a bridge that could connect two worlds, but their journey was not yet complete. Messages from her species began to arrive, transmitted through advanced communication channels that Ethan could barely comprehend. Leaders from distant planets were monitoring the interaction, curious about Earth's potential as an ally. Ethan understood the weight of this attention. Their actions now would determine not only the outcome of this encounter, but possibly the reputation of humanity across the galaxy. The alien girl turned to him. "They will judge us by what you show them. Your decisions, your courage, and your morality. Do you understand?" "I do," Ethan replied, "and I will do my best to represent humanity's strengths, intelligence, compassion, and honor." Together, they began planning the next steps. Ethan shared human history, culture, and science, while she offered insight into her people's achievements and values. It was a partnership of learning, respect, and shared purpose. The authority officers watched closely, increasingly convinced that the humans could rise to meet the challenge. As the night deepened, Ethan and the alien girl prepared a final demonstration for the Interstellar Council that would soon arrive. The council members would decide whether Earth could be considered a trustworthy participant in galactic matters. The stakes were higher than anything Ethan had faced before, but he felt ready, bolstered by the presence of the alien girl and the lessons of courage and compassion she represented. The demonstration began with the alien girl showcasing her abilities to manipulate energy in safe and beautiful ways. illustrating principles of science and technology far beyond human understanding. Ethan explained how humans could interpret, adapt, and innovate, proving that even with limited experience, they could contribute meaningfully to interstellar collaboration. The council members, observing through holographic projections, were visibly impressed. They noted the human capacity for reason, problem-solving, and ethical judgment. But more importantly, they saw that humans could form bonds of trust and loyalty, values that were often rare in the wider galaxy. After the demonstration, the alien girl spoke to the council directly. "I have come to honor the human who saved me. In doing so, I show that trust, gratitude, and courage are universal values. Observe, learn, and understand that humans are capable of greatness." The council deliberated, communicating silently through advanced interfaces. Finally, a senior member addressed the assembly. "Earth has shown wisdom, courage, and the capacity for honor. We recognize the value of humanity as a potential ally. This act of kindness, demonstrated across time and space, has proven more than mere survival. It has proven character." Ethan felt a surge of relief and pride. The alien girl smiled at him, a quiet acknowledgement of their shared journey. The council's recognition was more than validation. It was a symbol of hope for the future. In the days that followed, formal ceremonies took place to celebrate the bond between humans and her species. The alien girl's wedding was not a marriage in the human sense, but a symbolic honoring of trust, loyalty, and the enduring impact of a simple act of kindness. It became a celebration of humanity's courage, intelligence, and moral integrity, a reminder that even in a vast and complex galaxy, human values could shine brightly. Ethan reflected on everything that had happened. 15 years ago, he had made a choice that seemed small at the time. He had saved a life without knowing the consequences. Now, he realized that this single act had created ripples across time and space, influencing events far beyond his imagination. The alien girl stood beside him, her glowing eyes reflecting both gratitude and admiration. "You have shown what it means to be human," she said softly. "Your courage, wisdom, and heart are worthy of honor, not just by me, but by the galaxy itself." Ethan smiled, feeling the weight and wonder of the moment. "And you have reminded me that the smallest choices can create the greatest impact," he replied. "Together, we have shown that kindness, trust, and courage are not just human qualities, they are universal." As they looked toward the stars, Ethan knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity's journey into the wider galaxy was just starting, and with allies like the alien girl, the future was full of possibilities. He felt proud, not only of his own actions but of humanity's potential, the strength, intelligence, and heart that could inspire respect and admiration across worlds. And so, under the light of distant stars and the gaze of a galaxy now aware of humanity's worth, Ethan and the alien girl stood side by side, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead. They had proven that courage, compassion, and intelligence could transcend species, time, and space, leaving a legacy that would inspire generations to come. The galaxy had watched, and humanity had risen to meet it. And for Ethan, the realization was clear. A single act of kindness, a single choice to help, could change not only one life but the destiny of many. And that, above all, was the greatest power of being human.